Hey folks, TNAImpact here. Here to basically, I know, as everyone knows here, I'm a TNA wrestling fan. Have been for the past several years, and as I've been happy with TNA as I has been in the past few years, and still am, but I'm basically here to, I'm basically here actually for once to say a few things that have particularly gotten on my nerves, and I'm not particularly happy with TNA for doing so, and I blame Vince Russo on this one. Okay, the main subjects, the gimmicks in TNA, not happy with it. I would prefer if there was much less. You know, you have Christopher Daniels now being in his old persona back in when he was over in Japan days as Curry Man. I gotta say, I'm not digging it at all. I don't like that. I think if everyone looks back to the time in the NWA TNA days when you seen Christopher Daniels, Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels, they obviously remember the time when Christopher Daniels, if you compare then to now, you see that Christopher Daniels back then was a hell of a lot more dominant than he is nowadays. He was a lot more competitive. He was a lot more. He was a wrestler you could respect. That one day he was not. He actually, for me, I felt if he was still the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels, I'm telling you this, he would be very close to becoming TNA World Champion. I believe that myself. He would have been right up there with the likes of AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Sting, so forth. You know. Now that he's a Curry Man, I felt like he's talking about 100 steps back and actually getting that goal. I know Christopher Daniels would obviously love to be TNA World Champion. Who wouldn't on the TNA roster, right? But nowadays that cannot possibly happen. No one can possibly take him seriously as the Curry Man. He's just a gimmick. I mean, he's just there. He looks like a weak character, like Eric Young or Shark Boy. I think the only person in TNA who ever did a good gimmick which everyone could respect was actually Shark Boy. He does it well. But when you take serious athletes who are determined and they have realistic goals of winning championships, you don't necessarily put someone like Christopher Daniels in that spot. Shark Boy, yes, because really he's a crowd pleaser. He is a, you wouldn't really say realistically he could be TNA World Champion one day. I mean, really, realistically, maybe X-Division Champion, maybe, but World Champion, no. Eric Young, oh God, not happy there either. I remember him back in the days when he was a part of Team Canada. No, back then he was impressive, very impressive. I was very impressed with Eric Young. Since he left them, he's still a good wrestler, but he just has this whole "oh, I'm scared of everything" kind of thing. And now that he's Super Eric, he's just completely gone. I'm losing respect for him. This guy has so much talent. He really does. I mean, I would believe that if he had, when Team Canada had disbanded, I thought it was possible that he could have, like, I don't know, taken the opportunity to become like a series type wrestler, actually win championships. He could have, at that time, taken the spot of the seriousness and competitiveness as Christopher Daniels if he wanted to. He could have upgraded his wrestling entirety and really gone hunger mad for a title. Now, Super Eric, can you really imagine him becoming a champion one day? I don't think so at all. No way. All in all, gimmicks, TNA, forget about it. I would say leave the gimmicks to the wrestlers who would consider it. They're definitely worthy of this spot. Obviously, as I said, Shark Boy, he does it well. But when you take serious type wrestlers, like I said before, bad idea. So if there's anyone at all from TNA wrestling at all, whether you're the wrestlers, whether you're management, whether you're owner of TNA, or you any part of TNA, I hope you're listening to this. All in all, gimmicks don't work. Forget about it. Maybe have 1 or 2 gimmicks wrestlers. That's it. Don't start building them up, building more gimmick wrestlers up, because too many just ruins the company. You know, TNA, we say TNA, we are wrestling. You know, that's like the logo, because it's true, because there's so many talented wrestlers there. We really are what we are. With all the gimmicks that's coming up and coming up and coming up, it really doesn't seem exactly like we are wrestling. It's more like we are gimmicks, with all these gimmicks adding up and adding up and adding up. How can fans take fans who haven't loved TNA as much as I do, take TNA seriously when all they keep doing is adding gimmicks, 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 gimmicks? I mean, before all these gimmicks came in, you know, I saw fans were watching it and they were loving it, because TNA has all the wrestling they have for it. Everybody knows TNA is phenomenal wrestlers, and when you throw gimmicks at them, it's ruining it. So now look, gimmicks don't work. I hope TNA, you're listening to this, TNA, forget the gimmicks, you don't need them. Get back to wrestling. That's what we love. That's why we watch TNA. That's why we left WWE aside and we went to TNA, because we want wrestling. My name is TNAImpact. That's my video. See you again.